the brain.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you for joining in our national anthem. Our next song recalls that greatest of our wars, the American Civil War, which caused more casualties than any other war in our history and led to a new birth of freedom for our nation. In 1861, during the Civil War, Julia Ward Howe heard United States soldiers singing John Brown's Body. The melody stayed with her, and during the night she rose from her bed and wrote the words of our best loved American hymn. Griffin will sing the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Please join him in singing the verses you know, or at least the choruses. There are some sheets that have been passed out with all the words.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and lamps. I can read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His day is marching on. I have read a fiery gospel written burnished rows of steel. As ye deal with my contenders, so with you my grace shall deal. Let the hero born of women crush the serpent with his heel, since God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Since God is marching on. He has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call retreat. He is sifting out the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. Our God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Our God strive to make men holy. Let us strive to make men free, while God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. While God is marching on, He is coming like the glory of the morning of the wind. He is wisdom to the mighty, He is honor to the brave. So the world shall be His footstool, and the soul of wrong His slave. Our God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Our God is marching on.
I'd like to thank our pianist, Debbie Pankow. Debbie was raised in a small town in central Wisconsin, the eldest of 7 children. Like her first 3 siblings, she took piano lessons and was given a choice: either practice piano or weed the garden. Fortunately for us, she chose the piano and left the weeding to her siblings. Debbie worked for the food and beverage business at the airport for 28.5 years. Now she plays the organ and directs the bell choir at Central Lutheran Church. I'd also like to thank our singer, Griffin Lindsay. Griffin is a baritone, a voice major at the University of Alaska, Anchorage, who has sung comprimario roles in many Anchorage opera productions. Now that you've heard him sing, you won't be surprised to know that as a young child, he began to sing even before he began to speak. He's been an outstanding member of the opera's Alaska Artist Development Program. He studies political science as well as music, and this weekend, as an Independence Day Fellow of the Intercollegiate Studies Institute, Griffin has been part of a student-faculty seminar on the Declaration of Independence and America's founding principles. He's also been coaching the 16 other Independence Day Fellows from UAA and Western United States colleges and universities, all of whom from outside are here in Alaska for the first time, enjoying our sunny weather. They're not voice majors, but as you've seen, they were very game to and got ready to sing with Griffin today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking Debbie and Griffin. Now I have to tell you something that's not in my script. We heard day before yesterday that at approximately 11:15, depending on the weather, who knows, there may be loud warplanes coming over the park strip to signal Independence Day. If that should happen in the middle of our commemoration, we will stop. You can look at the planes if they're visible through the clouds, and we'll resume as soon as that breathtaking noise, which I think President Reagan once called the sound of freedom, ends. So just be aware that that could happen. But we're going to go ahead with the program now. On the 4th of July, 1776, the Second Continental Congress, meeting in Philadelphia in the building afterwards called Independence Hall, declared the independence of the United States from Britain. Their proclamation was the Declaration of Independence, written by Thomas Jefferson, and ever since our most fundamental public document. The Declaration not only declares our independence and thereby establishes the United States as a nation, but it also tells us who deserves to rule. The Declaration states the self-evident truth that all men are created equal, and therefore explains, since no one naturally rules anyone else, that all government has to be by consent. This is what we're celebrating on Independence Day, the American experiment in self-government, in ruling ourselves, that began on this day 250 years ago with the men who signed the Declaration of Independence. All 56 signers who mutually pledged to each other their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor were condemned as traitors by Great Britain. As Benjamin Franklin, who was one of them, remarked, "We must all hang together, or assuredly we shall all hang separately." The dangers were real, but the signers faced the consequences with manly courage. 5 were captured and tortured as traitors. 12 lost their homes. 17 lost everything they owned. 9 died of wounds or hardship during the war, and most of them were away from their families and their homes for a long time. Soon after that first 4th of July, the Declaration of Independence was read around the country in every city and town, and the traditional celebration of the 4th of July ever since has included reading the Declaration along with parades and picnics and baseball games and fireworks. As Jefferson remarked of our unalienable rights just before the 50th anniversary of the Declaration 200 years ago in 1826, "Let the annual return of this day forever refresh our recollection of these rights and an undiminished devotion to them." Now, I want to invite the children who are here to come forward to draw nigh so that they can hear the declaration. You can come with your parents if you need them with you, and we have some small flags for each of the children to have during the reading. We're very fortunate this year to have Wilfred McClay to read the Declaration of Independence. Professor McClay has come to us from Hillsdale College in Michigan, where he holds the Victor Davis Hanson Chair. He's the one who wrote the celebrated new history of the United States, Land of Hope, an invitation to the great American story, which our Independence Day fellows read before coming together in Alaska this weekend. This is not Bill and his wife Julie's first visit to Alaska. The last time they came was in November 2018, and they were here